When it comes to repairing a relationship, there can be so much advice out there that can, let's face it, feel a little bit icky. Out of all the relationship repair advice out there, some of it falls into the category of manipulative. So in today's video, I want to break down how to spot manipulative relationship advice to make sure that if you're repairing your relationship, you're doing it in a healthy way. I get the worry. I can totally understand how, at the end of the day, if you're trying to repair a relationship with an ex-partner, you want to get them back. That's normal, that's okay, that's healthy. There's nothing wrong with wanting to repair a relationship. The question is how you do it. And when I work with members, when it comes to building a relationship and repairing a relationship, we choose to do it through self-growth. Self-growth ultimately is about becoming the best product and allowing someone to choose you. Very, very simple. Now, there is a lot of advice out there that feels like it can fall into this category, but actually doesn't. So I want to talk about what manipulation is and why it's important to understand the difference in order to build a relationship that is strong and healthy moving forward. So in the context of a relationship, manipulation is the exercise of influence to seize control. So healthy relationships involve mutual influence. When we talk about influence and control, there's a big difference. When you try to control something external to you, that is when you are trying to seize control over it. You're trying to do whatever you can to control something that is not you. With that being said, when you focus internally on who you are, what you do, how you show up, that allows you influence. If you try to control something external to you, oftentimes that actually gives you less control, or it will give you temporary control for a little bit, but ultimately you will lose any sort of control over that situation because it's external. When you have complete self-control, that is where you gain influence. Influence is persuasion, is compromise, is negotiation. Manipulation is very distinct because it's hidden, it's coercive, and it's very unbalanced. And this is usually a strategy, whether it's unconscious or conscious, used by one partner to alter the other's perception, emotions, or behavior to serve themselves, most of the time at the expense of the other's well-being or freedom. So I want to break down a little bit deeper what constitutes manipulation, how it functions, and how to distinguish it from normal, healthy relationship dynamics. So when I talk about this, I want to talk about this as a reflection of your actions. The reason why I say this is because that is the only thing that we can control. Oftentimes in relationships, when a relationship is on the rocks or in a not so great place or even broken up, it can be easy to push blame onto the other person. Usually this is a recognition of a feedback loop. The thing is with a feedback loop is that it takes two people. So regardless of who started that feedback loop, it takes two people to do it. So if you are controlling, then oftentimes it's in response to what is your partner's controlling behaviors and vice versa. So it's really important to focus on ourselves in order to break that feedback loop. And what people find is that once that feedback loop is broken, these controlling behaviors dissipate from both sides. So that's why in this video and all of my videos, I focus on what is 100% in your control, because that's what's really important to stop becoming controlling over someone else. Hope that makes sense. So let's talk about common manipulative tactics. Again, I want to be clear here that your intent may not be to manipulate, but it doesn't mean that the impact isn't having the same effect. So I know that there's a lot of advice out there that will tell you that these ways are based on psychology or whatever it is, and it may be true, but it doesn't mean that it doesn't have the same impact as something that is unhealthy. It doesn't mean that it's not developing an unhealthy relationship. But there are some explicit, very manipulative tactics that develop unhealthy relationship patterns. The first one is gaslighting. So denying facts, lying, or changing reality to make your partner question their sanity. So let's say you said something and you're saying, I never said that, I never did that. You're imagining that, you misread that person that I was speaking to wasn't Janine from work, it was my mom, whatever it is. Actively lying is manipulative. But then there's things like love bombing. This is overwhelming someone with excessive affection and praise in order to win them back. But then if you don't get your way, or they want to explore a different relationship, or they say they're unsure, withdrawing all of that love bombing as a punishment. when they don't comply with what you want. But then there's also the silent treatment. I've talked a lot about this on the channel, this idea of no contact in order to try to force your partner or ex-partner to miss you, refusing to communicate, to punish your partner, creating anxiety and forcing them to apologize or come running back to you just to end this silence. This can be very manipulative. Again, doesn't mean that your intent is that, but it doesn't mean that it doesn't have that impact on your partner. Guilt tripping. So for example, if you tell your partner that without them, you're going to be completely unhappy, you're never going to be able to be happy again, framing your happiness as their responsibility. So if you really love me, then you wouldn't go out with your friends. If you really loved me, then you would give this relationship another chance. If you care about me as a person, then you would try again in this relationship. This is guilt tripping. This is basically forcing your emotions, your emotional happiness as their responsibility, which is not true. So these are some common manipulative actions. Again, I want to be clear. It doesn't mean that you are consciously doing this, but it doesn't mean that it doesn't have that impact. So then I want to break down the difference between manipulation versus healthy influence. So it's easy to confuse manipulation with normal relationship conflict. Now, I've done a deeper dive on understanding what conflict is, so I'll link to that up above and in the description down below. But the difference lies in intent and transparency. So with transparency, you're stating your thoughts and feelings clearly. But if you're being manipulative, you're hiding behind behaviors. So you pout, you give the silent treatment, you're sighing, you're rolling your eyes, things like that. So how can you recognize this in yourself? I want to give you some questions to ask yourself. Just by clicking on this video is a great first step to really self-reflect and ask yourself, is what I'm doing something that is about healthy influence in the situation, or is it about manipulation, or is it about trying to control somebody else? Asking yourself these questions is a really good first step. And obviously this is a YouTube video, so I can't dig fully into it. But if you do want to dive deeper into relationships, understanding them at a much more deeper level and how to healthily repair a relationship, then join my Relationship Bootcamp, where you'll learn the same fundamentals that all my members start with to start repairing their relationships from the ground up. I'll drop a link in the description if you want to grab your spot. So the line between fighting for love and manipulating a situation can be a little bit blurry sometimes, because both come a place from intense desire and sometimes hurt. So the difference isn't usually about what you're doing. So for example, sending a text or asking to talk, but it's about the why and the how you are doing it. So I want to give you a bit of a self-audit to help you determine if your efforts of repair are crossing into manipulation. So the first test is the outcome test. This is all about intent. So healthy repair focuses on the process. So this is fixing the relationship. Manipulation focuses on the outcome. This is getting them back at all costs. So it's healthy to want to show your partner that you've changed and you're still changing and growing, and you're wanting to grow your ability to be able to lead the relationship in the right direction so that they can make an informed choice about the relationship themselves. This is about their autonomy, about who you are and what you're doing. It crosses into manipulation, where it's, I need to do X so that they have to take me back. I need to get them to feel bad, to feel guilty. I want them to feel terrible. I want them to miss me so that they take me back. So how do you check on this? Here's a great question. If you knew for a fact that they would never take you back, would you still be making these changes for yourself? If yes, if you are changing because you recognize the need to change despite the outcomes right now, then this is healthy growth. If no, then this may just be performative manipulation to win the breakup. And again, this is really important to ask yourself, like, are you growing for the sake of growing, or are you growing just to win back your partner? The thing is, if you are just making changes only to win them back and then to just stop growing again, then your partner will see this from a mile off, because you won't be able to take feedback. You won't be able to handle the difficult situations that arise. And when you're saying, hey, I want to lead the relationship, I want to repair this, and then a discord comes up, an opportunity for conflict, healthy conflict, and you act in an unhealthy way, then it will show your partner that you're not doing this for the sake of the relationship. You're not doing this for the sake of growth. You're only making these changes in order to win them back. And that's performative rather than something that's in your core. The second test is what I call a Trojan horse test. This is all about transparency. So manipulation often involves hiding your true motives behind a safe label, like friendship or closure. So what is healthy? If your partner is saying, why do you want to hang out? If you're saying, I just want to be friends, I don't have any interest in you, I don't want to repair the relationship, I just want to be really good friends, that is manipulative, right? Because you're secretly waiting for a moment to seduce them or guilt them or get them to change their mind. The check here is, are you being honest about your goal? So what's healthy? I would like to repair this relationship. I would like for us to be together. In the meantime, I want to keep on working on myself in order to become the best partner I can. And I want you to be able to make that choice. If you feel comfortable hanging out with me still, then that's awesome. I'm not going to put pressure on you. But if that makes you feel pressured, then I completely understand. So the check is, are you being honest about your goal? Are you being honest without pressure? This way, you're being transparent about things. You want to repair the relationship, but you're also being transparent about not wanting to put pressure on them at the same time. So the third test is the no test. This is how you handle rejection. How you handle rejection is the clearest indicator of respect versus control. So a healthy response is, you ask to meet, they say no, you feel sad, but you respect their decision. Manipulative is, they say no, they don't want to meet, so you come up with a new excuse to meet up with them. You ask again in a different way. You show up at their house or their work accidentally. You send a long letter explaining, telling them why their no is wrong. Contact friends and family to do the work for you. The check here is asking yourself, if they say no, are you going to continue to grow who you are in order to provide and create that emotional safety within a relationship? Or are you going to continue to just put pressure and bombard them into submission for them to contact you? And the final thing is the fog audit. So the question here is, are you trying to induce fear, obligation, or guilt to get a response? This is very simple and a very clear way of figuring out whether what you're doing is manipulation or if it's influence. So if you're trying to induce fear, that is often manipulation. So if you don't answer me, I might do something unsafe, or you'll never find anyone who loves you like I do, or bad things are going to happen if you explore this other relationship. If your actions are there to create fear in order to try to pull someone back into a relationship, that is often manipulation. So really think about what your actions are doing and your intent in this situation. But also ask yourself, are you trying to induce obligation? For example, after all I did for you, you owe me a conversation. You owe this relationship another chance. I looked after you for 3 months. The very least you can do is sit and have a conversation with me about our breakup. That is inducing obligation. You are telling them that they are obliged. You've just invented a rule. That is manipulation. Or guilt. This is posting sad things on social media with the hope that they see it. Reminding them of how much they hurt you to force an apology, or reminding them about all the sad times, or writing vague book messages of thinking about a certain someone today, or absolutely devastated, my whole world has fallen apart. This is inducing guilt, whether it's for them to see or whether it's for other people to see and tell them in order for them to guilt coming back to you. That is manipulation. So the check here, checking yourself here is, do you want them to come back because they want to or because they feel bad for you? This is really important. Like when I work with members, this is what we go through, is earning a relationship back. You deserve to be in a relationship that you have earned because of who you are, your relationship skills, how you show up. That is earning a relationship. But if you're trying to get your partner back, you don't want to cultivate a relationship where your partner is only coming back because they feel bad for you. Ultimately, you want to create a system that works, that is proven to work for both of you. Not a relationship that your partner is only coming back to because they feel guilt, or a relationship that your partner comes back to because they feel obliged, or a relationship that your partner wants to come back to because they're scared of you, or they're scared of the alternative. You want them to feel empowered back in this relationship. That is what is cultivating a healthy relationship. But the worst tactic is the crisis tactic. This is common subconscious manipulation, is manufacturing a crisis to force contact. So, for example, calling them because you can't find an item that you left at their place, or you have a sudden medical scare and you tell them that they need to pick you up or whatever it is, or feigning an emergency to bypass some agreement of no contact between you both, or feigning an emergency to try to manufacture contact. The truth here is that if you're inventing reasons to interact that aren't genuine necessities, then you're manipulating their empathy to try and force engagement. And this is not cultivating a healthy dynamic between you both. Now, I've spoken a lot about this whole idea that sometimes is out there about this no contact rule, this forcing no contact to try to force them to engage with you, to basically miss you in order to pull back to you. Or the opposite, which is bombarding them with messages until they feel obliged to contact you back. Both of these extremes are really unhealthy. This is why I've actually done a deeper dive video on what I call the low contact rule, which is not falling to either of these extremes, but actually talking to them like a human being whilst you're still making your changes and growing yourself in order to show up as the best version of yourself to cultivate a strong relationship. Like I said, I won't deep dive into that, but I'll leave you with that video on the low contact rule, and I will see you over there.